Naija Girls Podcast listeners, welcome to this forum, okay? I know some of you people have been needing this for the longest, but you did not know you needed it. Now, do me a favor and go and send it to your friend, and you guys should gist about this more. But before you do that, just warn them small that this podcast will contain Americanized pronunciations. So, we Yoruba people will be saying our H's when we need to say it, and we'll be taking it off when we don't need to say it, okay? So, we already know what we have in our hand. If you're from the abroad and you think we're pronouncing things wrong, it's okay. Argue with your grandfather. We're going to be shaking the table. All the tables getting shook. The stools shooketh. Everybody is just going to be shooked. Agunyi will shook you. Anyways, if you think that our stories might be too embarrassing for you, you might be too holier than thou, let me tell you something. This is our real life, and so we're going to share as it comes and share as it has happened. We are not foolish, we are learning from everything, and so therefore, please, Momsy and Daddy, be careful. If you are listening to this one and you are offended, we warned you, Sha. Please, listen at your own discretion, or don't go and send it to one picking somewhere that will be doing offense left and right, because we will never respond to you. So, just always know that there is God, oh, chai!
When will you marry? When will you marry? Will it be this year or next year? Will you be single forever? Jesus, when will you marry? When will you marry Jehovah?
Welcome back to our regularly scheduled program, aka, thanks for not turning off your phone.
Welcome back to another session of Naija Girl Talks. Today on this episode, we have three special guests. We have
Akwe,
and then we also have
Ruth Nathan
and Kika Iwodeji.
In today's session, we're talking about when you get married. We're sharing stories we have as being single ladies in the Nigerian community, and how sometimes being around all these weddings and going to weddings, we feel like, when will I get married? But then also you have society reminding you, when will you get married? And sometimes it's hard to answer the question because you don't really know. Before we begin, we're going to go around and share where we're from and what our names mean.
My name is Akwe. I am Yoruba, and my family is from Ilawe, Ekiti, but people call me Opizi.
My name is Ruth Adoma Nathan. My middle name means beautiful, good, fine, first daughter. Shit, terrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they probably say. And I'm Igbo, and I'm from Abia State in Nigeria.
Hey everyone, I'm Kika Iwodeji. It's Kika Lomo, and it means a child needs to be pampered or spoiled. Yeah, I'm Yoruba. My dad's from Abeokuta, and my mom's from Owo.
My name is Olamide Iyanda, and Olamide has two meanings depending on where you are in Nigeria. The first one is the Lord has brought my wealth. The second one is the Lord has brought my honor. Since we're talking about when will you marry, the first question is everybody single here? Is everybody...
Yeah.
Well, what's the definition of single?
Next.
Single is if somebody sees you with another guy, will they get upset or not?
Who's the somebody?
Exactly. Who's somebody?
If person A sees your person B, will person A be upset that's your person B? I'm single.
I feel like
that's so tricky.
I feel like you could be single spiritually. Like, did y'all listen to that series by Michael Todd? He was like, even if you're about to get engaged, you're not married until you say I do, right? Because it's before God and man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
I agree. I like that definition. So that definition, I'm not married, so I'm single. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm single.
I'm single. I'm not married.
I'm single, I'm not married. We're going to make this real simple.
Yeah.
Not complicated.
Because you're going to sorry.
So since everybody here is single, Do you feel pressure from your parents, peers, or society to be married?
Parents.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all are like upper 20s, right? We're over that 25 hump here. And I think society kind of gives you a timeline. And in a weird way, you give yourself that timeline. Like, you subscribe to that timeline, too, because of society. My parents are not the ones to pressure me. I'm the youngest of 5, so my sisters are all married with children. So if anything, they should be pressuring me to get out their house. But they're really chill. So I don't feel pressure from my family at all. But I think I feel pressure from society, which in turn makes me put pressure on myself.
Can I ask her a question?
Yeah, definitely.
So do you think that's because, your parents are preachers? Do you think that's because they know the spiritual significance of marriage?
I think they understand that God's timing aspect. So they're just like, whenever God does it, is really when it's supposed to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I can expound on that because I'm in a similar situation, but opposite of Ope, I'm the first child, and in my situation, my sister, who is 20 months younger than I am, recently got married, and so, of course, the public eye, that may seem a bit off or strange, especially I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Nigeria that would not happen. The conch, you know what I mean? Yeah, taboo. So, to answer the question, no, my parents are not pressuring me in any form or fashion, but I do believe I'm pressured by society and have uncles and aunties what's going on? And literally yesterday at my cousin's wedding, my uncle was like, I have someone for you. I was like, Uncle, every time he sees me, always saying the same thing. And then he was like, but let me tell you, I heard something. I said, what'd you hear? He said, I heard that you're too picky. I said,
what? Yeah, I had the same thing.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing I tell everyone, if you have someone in mind for me, if you feel like you know me, you know how to filter the ones that don't need to come my way out. Don't waste my time.
And I feel like Nigerians think because you're single after whatever the age bracket they put you in, because you're single in that time, that means you're automatically picky. But it really could just mean that's God's timing is God's timing. It doesn't mean that you're picky, because I get that same label. You're too choosy. You have a list. I'm like, nah, fam, I don't. I'm chilling. Nah.
I actually have a list, but it's not it's not, no. It's actually
standards.
Exactly. It's actually stuff that's attainable. Any Christian guy can actually meet my list. Yeah. But the thing about it is, there's some things like personality. I'm not about to be with a dry person just because you're you know what I mean?
You have to be compatible.
Yeah. That's the thing. Even my dad says all the time, it's not about, okay, are you reading your Bible, all this thing. Is there chemistry? Are you guys, seeing eye to eye? Because I can't come kill myself, no.
Yeah, even last week for me, I had one of my aunts from Nigeria 100, and she literally sat on the bed and was like, so, where is he? I'm like, yo, who? And she's like, the guy. I'm like, there's no guy. And she said, are you smiling? Are you looking down? And I'm like, but I go, are you being personable? But I go out every weekend. I think I have a lot of friends. I meet new people. Y'all look nice. So, and then y'all don't really know me, but y'all already think it's my fault.
That's the thing.
They always blame the girl it's your fault. You're not smiling. And it's just
that's fair too.
You never see me in a public setting to see how I operate. So why would you assume that it's me?
And even if I was not smiling, even if I was mean, even if I looked quote unquote busted, at the end of the day, if God wants me to be married at a certain time, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Regardless of how I look, regardless if I'm smiling. Are you smiling, Auntie?
My mom, she will give guys my number. And I'll wake up to messages on WhatsApp. Be like, how are you? And I'm like, bruh, I don't know. No, ignore. And she gets mad. She's like, you think you're too good? You think you're too good? No. I'm just like, Mom, I don't know these guys.
That happened to me literally.
And your mom doesn't even know them either.
She doesn't know.
You don't know what family they're coming from. You don't know their background. You don't know what they do at night.
And the person that tried to do this to me, which was back in May this year. She was like, so when I was like, yeah, I'll appreciate if you don't give my number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I flattered, but like that wasn't really the move. Like even me, I take my time to give my number. This one guy I was talking to for 6 months. We were talking on Skype. Please, I don't talk. I mean, he found me online. I don't know. He found me on Instagram. I don't know, one of those things. But I responded to the lady that what I said, try not to give my number out. And she was like, oh, excuse me. She was like, next time, think twice before you tell someone much older than you, something like that. Something like that. Something very stupid. I was like, you're blessed.
What?
It's your number.
Please, I pay my bill.
That's what I mean. People are very strange.
They think they can control you. Like, they just want to control everything.
The situation.
And the thing is, like, marriage is a covenant. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be out here giving anybody. You can't rush anything. Like,
they're so eager to collect Ashobie that they don't think about, okay, will this marriage be fruitful? Would this girl be happy? Will they prosper together? Will he make her better? Will the children they produce be happy in this marriage? Like, they don't think about the long term.
Yeah.
They think about that wedding day when they can be flashy, and honestly, it's not even worth it. I think for me, I feel pressure from my peers.
That's interesting.
I mean, also family, but my parents, they're chilling. Like, my dad doesn't pressure to do anything we don't want to do. My mom just be like, just keep praying, stuff like that. Once in a while, she'd be like, you're not praying enough. But it's like, once in a while, but she's chilling. But yeah, I think society.
Yeah, and I think it's like, our parents could be like, even like a joke like, oh, you're not praying hard enough. Or even for me, I have a lot of aunties and uncles in my church community, in my just general community that would be like, oh, in your time, I wear my gele so high. And I understand that the intention behind it, because I know that they don't mean evil. Yeah. But I think, like, I was telling a friend recently that I feel their concern, which, like, switches onto anxiety for me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, yeah, one day, it's still nobody. Oh, okay, we're still praying. I'm like, okay, you still praying. Yeah, like, I am too.
Like, isn't that
yeah, but I get it, though. It's not a bad intention. So I try to, like, use that to package it in my head.
But after these like, they literally will force you to invite them, force you to get married. A month in. Are they even checking up on you?
Nope. And the thing in our culture is, like, I don't mean to shame our culture, but, like, if someone comes to you crying, like, oh, I'm having trouble at home, they're like, go back to your husband's house, do this, do that. And it's like, no. Like, but it's like they cherish marriage so much.
They really, really do. And I think I had to understand that about the Nigerian culture. Yeah. And even just foreigners in general. I hear the same things, like, from my Indian friends and, stuff like that. I feel like, there's something about the foreign culture that, like, really cherishes marriage. Yeah. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't even think it's not even built or embedded in Christ. Yeah. Or even, I mean, if you don't want to go the Christ route, it's not embedded in anything of substance. Yeah. It's just like, oh, get married so your last name could change so you can give your husband sons. I'm just like, that's not.
Which is our.
I mean, we want to do that, yeah. Like, you want to have kids,
but it's like, there's more to marriage.
Like, all these aunties, did you ever enjoy your single life? I don't think they did.
Were you ever single?
Were you ever single? Because a lot of them were not. That's very, very true. Very, very true.
That's crazy.
No shade, auntie.
Exactly.
Auntie, you're watching.
You go cheat. Auntie,
Yo, that's OC. So, like you said, Ronka. So, one of my auntie Ronka,
oh, God.
Yo, she was joking. She wasn't really serious, talking about marriage. But at that time, I was having OC anxiety. So, after she left, I had, like, panic attacks for 2 hours. And I had to call people, and they were praying, but I couldn't stop, like I couldn't breathe, and they had to pray for me. It was really bad. And I thought at the moment she was joking around with me, the panic attack would come. And I called Sam, Jumi, and Nicole, and they all had to talk to me, and it was like, you need to, like, be stable and, stable and trust God that He has somebody for you. Don't worry about what He will say, or let these words be planted and be watering it, Yeah. And I had to, like, okay, why am I listen to what they're saying? Like, do I not trust God? But that OC, like, I've never had a panic attack like that before in my life. And it kept on happening the whole night.
She was literally giving you her anxiety and it transferred to you. Like, they don't realize that can happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
don't.
Even not only in marriage, but in life in general. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they can be so anxious, and it's like, you're good, and that when you hear them, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So, like, it's real.
It is real.
That's good insight.
The next question is, do you think others' desire for you to get married is greater than your desire to be married?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Definitely.
That's a great question. I don't know. Like, dang, I don't know.
I feel like for myself, well, my testimony is, like, I didn't grow up in a positive marriage household. Like, my mom's a single mother, so, like, I always kind of shunned it. Like, when guys would approach me, even in middle school, I'd be like, nope, like, a man's gonna mess up my life. So I'm still trying to get rid of those thoughts and things in my heart. So it's like, when people mention marriage, I just be looking at them like, okay. Like, it's not, I'm not one of those girls that's like, oh, planning my wedding, this, that. I'm like, oh, okay, if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? Like,
I think your mom's desire is higher than yours.
Way higher. Way higher.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those girls who, like, I want to be settled. Like, there's certain things in my life that I haven't done yet, and I'm like, I want to do this before marriage. Yeah. May not be, like, that's not the formula, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not the formula, but that's just what I want. God may do something different, but I've just always had that mindset. So, like, when people mention marriage, I just be like, okay.
And then for me, being in the wedding industry, you know, as a vendor, I've noticed, like, at times I'm numb to, like, I guess the glamour of weddings, and because I see so many crazy things, you know, and much, or I see things I'm like, is y'all right? You know what I mean? Like, are you really, you know? So it's just, like, a matter of, like, really taking it to the Lord in prayer and, like, knowing, like, God, this is not because I'm trying to be on Bella Naija. Like, I really want to marry the bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, and, like, however long that takes. I don't think I've ever been, I mean, in the past I probably would say, I want to get married in my 20s, but nowadays I don't really think of, like, oh, if I'm 30, if I'm not married, hey, my life is over. Like, I'm not thinking like that, you know? I think others, literally, like, the question, like, others' desire is, like, wait, you're not, it's like, I remember a specific pastor, don't say no names, he said, if you are not married by 35, you're married to something else.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
It's okay. And I was just like, what? I understand the where he's coming from, what he's saying, but it's like, so if you're not, like, so literally your destiny or your desire to be married is just kaput because, you know what I mean, you're 30. So, and I understand with women, our bodies and having kids and all that, but, like.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But it's like, did that pastor read the Bible? Like, no, like, Abraham and Sarah's literally, I don't get it.
That's true, too.
Because it's like timing, like.
God is the author of time. Exactly. Like, he is time. Like that, you know? So, yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm the oldest one in the bunch, so, I mean, I'm just like.
How do you feel?
With my age, as far as being single, I mean, to be honest, it's tough. It's definitely not easy. I'm not gonna lie in front. Like, oh, I'm out here living a happy single life. There are times I was just, one of my really good friends got married this weekend, and we were all talking, and I was like, you know, there are times that being single is really fun. Yeah. A bunch of times that being single is really fun, and then there's also times that being single is really not fun. And then, like you said, thinking about children, thinking about starting your life. I'm the youngest of 5 girls. All my sisters and my mother was also married at 27. Wow. They were married at 27. Everyone, actually.
So you're the one that, like...
Not. Yeah. Really? So, yeah, everyone, including my mom. It was really cool. But it's just, it's tough. It's tough. But I'll always try to think, like, you know, Aqua, at the end of the day, what God has for you is for you.
Amen.
So, like... who cares if I'm 30? Who cares if I'm 35? I mean...
Well, I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Do stories like Yvonne orgies, do they inspire you or nah?
I encourage, yeah, sure. Encourage me, yeah. I love Yvonne, but I don't want to be 34 and single.
Okay.
And that's no shade at all, but that's just my desire. I don't want to be 34 and single. I mean, I don't want to be 30 and single, but you know. God can do anything in a couple months, Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's.
And then when you're older, it can happen even faster. Like the process.
That's true too. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Is other people's desire heavier than my desire? I would say no. I think it's kind of equal. I think it's equal. I do desire to be in a relationship, a godly relationship that leads to marriage. Yeah.
Amen. It's a godly relationship.
So sometimes with us being single, we may not trust God at all times and just kind of take things into our hand and start like looking at guys and make ourselves available to guys, even guys that we have no business being available to. So have you ever dated a guy for the wrong reasons, whether it be to be in a relationship, to get a ring, to keep your parents happy, to have a baby, etc., etc., etc.
Dated? I think we have to define the definition of dating.
Oh.
Because going out on a date or dating like in a relationship, yeah.
Okay, have you ever talked to a guy?
That's still ambiguous. That's still ambiguous.
Okay. Situationship or relationship? Let's just
okay, situationship or
one of like just either one of those. Okay. Like anything that's more than 3 months.
3 months. Let's do 1 month.
1 month?
That's nothing.
Yeah, I mean 1 month. That's what I'm saying. Have I ever been in a situation where I was dating someone that I knew wasn't it for longer than 3 months? Let me swallow real hard. Somebody else answer. Somebody else go.
I don't believe I've dated someone for the wrong reasons. Well, I could.
Sorry. Well, the wrong reasons is different from saying.
You
just knew he wasn't it.
Is it? That is different. Yeah. Because you're talking about like from a spiritual standpoint.
Yeah, or even just, just knew he wasn't
just know he's not your husband.
Yeah. Because he's a great guy, but he's just not for you.
He's great on paper. He's great. Y'all, y'all have great chemistry maybe, but you just know he.
You just know.
Okay, then yes. I gave someone, the guy I was mentioning earlier, I gave someone an opportunity to get to know me. Let's just say it like that. And from day one, I knew he was not the one for me. But I had, here go these prophecies. A year prior, I received a word that a man was coming that was going to be everything I need and desire.
Oh, wow.
And when he came, I didn't like him and things like that.
That was a prophecy.
Okay. And so, I mean, the way it happened, actually, it's not like one of those. Yeah, it's actually legit. He said when he came, I didn't like him and blah, 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 blah. And so she started binding and casting every spirit of, I don't like this one. She said, every spirit of, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. And she just kept going, just like, everybody just kind of snicker in the background. So then the following year comes and this guy emails me and just like, where'd you come from? Let's fast forward because I don't put no keywords out there. But yeah, like I gave the guy an opportunity to get to know me longer than I should have because there were so many red flags. Even he's a Christian pastor, all the things you want to say, you know what I mean? But it's just like from day one, like I knew we were not compatible. Even talking to mentors, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so interesting. Like us as believers, we always. We don't really want to like notice the stuff until like last minute and like it's like you got to that point because you're being stubborn and you heard the Holy Spirit but you just continued. But it wasn't. So the thing about it is he actually ended it, and which actually broke my heart because from day one I already knew.
Like boy, I ain't like you anyway.
Right.
I was now after that I was dealing with spirit of rejection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like what? Like bully was even
okay.
So it was just so interesting, like that whole process. But I knew that it happened for a reason because I learned so much about myself. I mean, there was times I was a little rude and like in areas I didn't need to be, and I definitely learned. And I also realized like what I wanted and did not want even more when it comes to a Christian guy. So yeah, I believe it happened for a reason, but I could have. I don't even regret talking to him actually.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. And I didn't and I knew that it wasn't gonna go anywhere, but I was just kinda like
just trying to see.
Yeah, and even at the end of it, he was just like, yeah, Like, he was like, I mean, it was no title or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, but, I mean, I could go on and on about my stories about these situationships and these Christian guys, but, you know, I'm healed.
Amen. We laying hands over here, y'all.
Girl, that's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, have I stayed in situations longer than I should have? Yes. Mm-hmm. Have I dated for the wrong reasons? I don't think I have. I think everyone I date, I can see a future with. Mm. But I think there are red flags that I've ignored. Mm.
On purpose.
On purpose, yeah.
I don't really, like, I don't have history like that. I mean, like, I did talk to, like, this guy, but that was when I was younger, like 19, and he was just totally bad for me. Right now, like, I'm friends with someone, and it's, like, considering maybe, but we're praying about it, and it's just friendship, you know, so I was always the girl that was afraid to date, you know, like I said before, so it's always like, get away from me, you're gonna ruin my life, like, don't come close to me, so it's just like, I'm the girl who's like, God, I need like 15 confirmations, if I don't have it, then I'm not marrying you, simple, yeah.
I never dated anybody, so.
Wow.
Never dated anybody before.
Yes, you have.
Who?
Yeah.
Okay, that was situationship.
Talking about situationships and relationships.
Okay.
Because mine, I wasn't in a relationship with the person I was just talking to. I would just, you know, share.
And this before Christ or after Christ?
Oh,
No. For me, asking me my question, like.
Okay, I got some secrets.
We're talking about during salvation time.
Nobody.
Okay.
She clean, y'all.
No, I just haven't like.
So have you ever liked someone for the wrong reason? Or desired to be married to someone for the wrong reason?
I want to say no. I feel like the people that I do like, I like them because of our friendships. So, you know, it wasn't like anything they did that I did like them about. It because it was our friendship, you know, based on friendship, based on history. But I've never. Okay, this month I went to Georgia in January. My aunt and uncle put me on with this one guy. He came over to the house and immediately I just felt a no, you know, and I think I entertained it for like 2 hours, but that's probably, I was like, I don't like him, like, and I just couldn't explain it, but I just felt this is not God's will. I know this sounds very, very cliche, but my mom always prays that you are married from the throne of heaven, you're married man of God, and when I saw him, he did not look like my mother's prayers, and I wasn't,
he did not look like my mother's prayers,
and I wasn't about to even bring him to Binkbay because she's gonna look at me like I'm crazy, so I was like, no, and I didn't see any fruit in him that I, like, not to be comparing, but the people that I hang out with, I feel like I knew more than him spiritually. Like, I asked him what's your favorite part of the Bible. He said Psalm 23. I said, why?
Psalm 23?
I read it every morning. No, I said no. Like,
that can really be his favorite part of the Bible, though.
No, but I was talking like, he didn't really have like a genuine like interest in God. Like, it was more like I serve God, but I don't like, we're not really friends. I serve for God, but I don't really like call him my mans. And I just like, I'd rather you call God your man than you like be serving like doing everything in the church. So I just felt like this was a no. Like, I need someone that actually loves God more than me.
Yes.
And he didn't really know anything about me, but he liked the idea of me. So I was just like, nope, no, like, no. And he was from Surulere, like.
It's funny because as you were speaking, I remember the situation that I had with a friend, and we, I guess, shared our heart towards one another. This was 2016, yeah. And it was so interesting because we both knew, like, this ain't gonna work. Because we've been friends for a very long time, so, and we've been like this. So we were trying to see like how it go, and all of a sudden he goes MIA, and I'm just like, okay, well. And then we have a conversation about it, and he's like, yeah. And like he'll always say, Ruth, your standards like up here, and I'm like down here. And I noticed that in that time period, in that season, I was stagnant in my walk because I realized I didn't realize it until later, but I realized like I wasn't trying to grow more because I'm trying to like, okay, level up. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
You know, and I didn't realize that till later. I was like, this is really bad. Like, just because I want to be married or whatever the case is, or I want to marry my best friend, like, that's one of my things on my list. Like, yeah. So, like, I'm like, I want to marry my best friend. So, we were like, we're still cool, but we don't talk as much. But the thing about it is, like, I realized, like, if there's anyone that I have to be doing, no.
Yeah.
Like,
bring it up.
you know?
No.
And not to say that the guy will always be so much stronger than you, but it's like, desire, yearning, is it there?
Yeah.
Because you can't be the guy's mentor. I beg.
Yeah.
I don't talk about that.
Oh, man. I mean, I think it's important to, like, know that there are different ways to get to the same solution, right? So, like, I know people who, on the outside looking in, the wife seems to be the stronger one spiritually, right? But that's not always the case. And even if it is the case for a season, at the end of the day, if you're in God's will, it's okay for that season because the season will change, like all seasons do. So that's just, you know.
That's true.
I also think that women, we're more emotionally connected to God just because we're women.
emotional.
Yeah, men have a harder time connecting, you know,
I like that.
because they're men.
Good insight.
Not saying that you should
That-
lower your
exactly.
standards.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you should.
Like, that's why you see more women in the church.
Exactly.
My mom always said that my dad didn't know. What she said? He didn't know what Revelations was when they met.
And imagine if she was like, no.
My dad's a pastor now. My mom's
Right.
not. So okay. So clearly she's in her season.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is your desire to get married greater now than it was in your early 20s?
Yes. Of course. And in my early 20s, I was grinding, which I am grinding. But
I wish I was grinding in my early 20s.
I was grinding, and I'm still grinding now, but I think just the pressure from society and my biological clock, is making it, greater than... I really said I was going to freeze my eggs at 30, actually.
Oh, wow.
What?
Ruth, why you look so shocked? I told my family that, actually.
Oh, wow. What did they say?
Why are you doing that? Relax, you so deep. Why you so extra? I'm like, no, I'm going to freeze my eggs at 30.
Yeah, I'm kind of with her. Like, not with freezing my eggs, but like, okay, so I told some people this, but on Mother's Day, I was actually crying. I was crying because Mother's Day was the same week as graduation week. So people were graduating with their masters or their degrees. People were getting proposed to. And it was also Mother's Day. And I've always wanted to be a mom by 28. I'm 27 and a half. Okay? My birthday's in January. I'm nowhere near to get pregnant. So I was really crying. And a friend of ours, he graduated, and his wife told him that she was pregnant. So it went from grad to dad. And I was crying. I was happy for them. I was crying because I really wanted to be a mom by 28. And I just felt like I wanted to, enjoy my youth with my baby, And I feel like now that I'm probably 28, it's definitely going to be harder having, not having baby, but like watching them running around, being up at night. It's either in your 20s, and I just felt like, God, like, what's going on?
Well, no, Mommy Dad, I'm going to step in. I think, again, we put ourselves on these timelines that, are not godly. Yeah. Because God did not tell you 28. I didn't ask you that, but I know He did it.
I know, but...
Yes. God didn't tell you 28. And it's just... These parameters that we put ourselves in, these boxes that we put ourselves in, that stress us out.
For no reason.
For no reason. I'm not going to name all the celebrities that have had children in their 50s because we know them. And of course, that probably is not our prayer and our desire, of course. But it's possible. My mother had me at 40.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I had Daniel at 39.
And I'm okay. And Daniel's okay.
Yeah.
They told I was going to have Down syndrome, but I'm okay. I mean, they said, I was going to have Down syndrome. And even if I didn't have Down syndrome, I'm okay. Like, it's okay to be a mother in our older years. It's okay to be a mother in our 30s. And it's okay to get married in your 30s. It's okay to get your master's in your 50s.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, it's not... I'm talking to myself as I'm talking, by the way. So I'm clearly not married and I'm single. But these are just some of the things that I had to I have to keep telling myself, and I always tell my friends that, like, we have to start removing negative self-talk, because at the end of the day, that is not serving us in a way that's going to push us to what we want. It's just going to keep us crying, keep us sad, keep us all that stuff. So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, don't stress yourself, because I told myself too. Sorry to interrupt you, but my whole family was married by 27.
Right.
My whole family. That's 5 women. I also think in our community, because we're in a very Christian community, after you get saved and once you finish school, it's kind of the next thing that comes along, because of a lot of reasons. So we know that we know that people get married young in our community. I mean, people get married at 22, 24, 23. I'm just like, wow, like, you are young. But people are doing it, and, you know, that's their decision, and that's fine if they choose that. But that also doesn't mean that's the only way to get there, Yeah, I always say 3 + 1 = 4, and so does 2 + 2. Yeah. So it's not only one way to do things, and only one time to do things.
Oh, I was going to say, I definitely have, like, that desire for family, you know, like, oh, baby fever. Yeah. When I go to the store, I'm like, when I was younger, I was like, oh, home stuff. But now it's like, ooh, okay, living room, couch, kitchen. My baby room will look like this. So it's like, it's a desire there, like, for family, planning stuff. But I could still wait a little bit more for the marriage part, you know.
I agree. I think I'm with you. Like, I'm not... I don't want to say pressed, but my desire to get married is not as high as my desire is to be in a godly relationship right now. Like, I don't want to say I just want to be in a relationship, but I desire to be in a relationship in this season. But marriage, that can, like...
Yeah, because that's such, like, that's forever. Like, once you say I do, you do, like...
You can't go.
One person I really, I remember being young, and Aisha Curry. She was just, like, she had, like, everything I wanted. Like, she was a basketball wife. Her husband was saved. Like, they got married young. She has, like, 3 kids. She's gorgeous.
She can cook.
She can cook, right? So it was like, dang, she got everything. Like, and I was like, dang, they met when they were, like, 20 or something. 19. Yeah, and I was like, dang, she has, like, the perfect life. And, like, I used to always say it, and Shaki would be like, bruh, stop. Like, just stop, you know, like, God has your own story, stop.
You don't know what's going on behind
you don't know what's going on behind you. It looks so beautiful, though.
No, it really does. Yeah.
But, like, that's someone I really, like, looked up to, and I was like, wow. But as I get older, it's just like, I just want the story God has for me.
Yep.
Yeah. I just want the story.
Because that's the best story at the end of the day.
Definitely.
I had to kind of remove the desire for, like, that story too, because I always wanted, like, the high school sweetheart, the whole, like, grind together story, glow up together story, and I just had to remove that desire, because that wasn't what happened. Yeah, that's not what was going to happen. So yeah,
like, sometimes we create idols from those things.
That's real too.
God was like, no, that's not your story. Stop. Like, just look away.
Yeah.
I have something better for you.
Yeah.
That was good. So, next question is, how do you deal with attending all these weddings, being bridesmaids, buying ashwabi without losing your mind? Because some of us, we all been bridesmaids this year. We all definitely bought ashwabi. I still got 3 more weddings to go to. I've been to 8 already.
It's not ending.
The year it's not over, and all our friends are getting married, all these bridal showers. Like, how do y'all cope without losing your mind?
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
Like I said earlier, I don't know. I'm just really, like, I think I'm just straight. Like, because I go to I don't know, I may be in La La Land when I'm at these weddings. Like, just, like, I'm just happy for the couple. Yeah. And, like, when I'm a bridesmaid, and all the weddings I'm in this year, except one. 3 of them are younger than me. You know what I mean? And it's just like, but I'm not thinking of that. I know other people are looking in and like, how you know? But I think I'm just maybe made differently, where my mind doesn't go that route. Like, I don't want to be a bride. I know maybe when I get older, I know, like, some people are like, when you're 30 and someone who's 22 is asking you to be a bridesmaid, it's kind of like strange if you're not married. But I don't know, now it's just like, I'm just, like, chilling, you know, and I'm actually really, like Ope said earlier, like, enjoying my singleness, where to the point where I'm thinking of the goals that are before me and like I want to really like achieve. Not to say I want to achieve them before marriage or anything like that, but just like currently, like what are you doing? And if we really study, I'm about to preach, I guess. I don't know. If we really study like the Proverbs 31 chapters, and like we it's like so cliche now, you know, but like the Proverbs 31 was working hard, like a hard-working woman. And like a lot of times, like we hear women who are married now, and they say like, yeah, my husband approached me, or my, you know, guy approached me when I was just serving. I was really just focused and doing things with the Lord. And like, it's like, okay, he had the same story all the time. But literally that's how it happens. And I know that, because there was a time when I wanted to like start visiting different churches and like things like that. My dad, encouraged me. It was like, yes, you know, and that wasn't even the reason, but he was just like, yes, I know that, you know, you want to like meet other people, other types of people, but know that what's for you is for you, and that the person will find you in your serving, like where you're serving and things like that. Not necessarily to say like, oh, they're going to come to my church and then like find me, whatever, but just in your place of contentment, you know, and just having that resting place and resting in the Lord in every way. And so, because I know for a fact, I'm not trying to like sound like all uppity, but if I wanted to be married today, I would have been married. You know what I mean? Like, it's like...
I think that's just the case for all of us.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, I cannot settle for anything. I don't care if you're a medical doctor. I don't care. Like, I need to make sure that our purpose aligns with each other, and like we're heading to the same place. And yeah, it may look different, but it's still like, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for that, and I don't mind attending weddings and being happy for others. And my prayer is that the ones that are married, that they stay married. It's not just about the wedding. So yeah.
Yes, I have the same mindset behind that. When I'm a bridesmaid, like they're all my really, really good friends. So like I've journeyed with them throughout their relationship. So during the wedding, I'm not even thinking about myself. It's just like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Yeah. And when you are in love, that is a beautiful thing. Yeah. So I'm just like looking at my friends so in love. I'm just like, oh my God, like that's so beautiful. I'm so excited for this friend. Most of the time it's a woman. I don't really have many male friends, but I'm so excited for my girlfriend. Like she found her best friend, and that's beautiful. Yeah. As far as like SOEB and stuff, I mean, it's a commitment, but it's expensive. But I think for the biggest portion of it for me is just like I'm celebrating my friend, and it's just a beautiful experience to witness her so in love with this person she's standing, and she's committing to spend her forever with. Mm-hmm. So I don't really have a problem going to weddings. Or I don't have a problem at being in weddings. Going to weddings are a little different because you kind of interact with the crowd in a different way. So you'll see the aunties and you see the uncles and they ask you about your day. But as far as being in weddings, I mean, I have a bunch of friends. So, and I love every one, you know. So it's not a big deal to me.
It's like Opa said, you're celebrating someone you love, like your friend, like your girl, like of course I'm gonna be there for you. Like this is kind of like my day too. I was there when you were crying. I was there when you were praying. I was there before the randoms and the bozos. So it's like that's my day too, sis. Like you know,
we're gonna celebrate together,
right? Yeah. When I look at weddings and I show up, I'd be like, bruh, I don't even have that money right now. So like, even if I was getting married right now, I wouldn't be like, oh, like, I'm jealous or I have pressure. Like, no, that's not for me because I don't have the funds for that right now. You know, like, my wedding. My wedding is not going to be huge. I'm not trying to spend too much money on my wedding. Like, for me, my desire is a house. Like, that's what I want to spend a lot of money on. Like, I was just thinking about that today, about everything. Like, it's the same. Like, you scroll on Instagram every Saturday. Same purple atmosphere, everybody on the dance floor, SOEB, it's the same thing. And I was just thinking, like, I want mine to be different. I want to be different. Like, if I go to a beach and do a wedding, hey, I'm married. Or, I mean, my mom, she can't hear this, but if I go to the courthouse, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be practical. Like, I don't want debt. I don't want to go into marriage with debt for a wedding day.
Yeah. And if you actually talk to these brides, 90% of them are like, I just want it to be over. I just want the wedding to be
They're not enjoying their own wedding.
It's like, is this?
That none of us are like that, but I think it's at the end of the day, it's planning a wedding.
You're doing it for the people.
It's really hard. Yeah. Like it's something that like everyone
people
who
say
plans
you would do shit on your worst.
Oh, your worst enemy. Like it's really really difficult, and I really think that everyone should do what they want. Yeah. So Kike, like if you want to get married on the beach, get married on the beach. Hey. If somebody else wants to go and have the chandeliers and have the candelabras, then they should do that. Exactly. If they want to spend 6 figures on their wedding, they should do that. If they should want to spend $20,000, they should do that. I really think, everyone should do what they want, and I don't think I agree with you. On Instagram says you see 15 weddings every Saturday. And I'll be at 3 of them.
Yeah, me too. Like,
so I get it.
I just think like people need to be more practical with their finances. Now, if you have it, do what you want, do what you like. But like I'm just saying, like I don't like when people take out loans for wedding. I don't know.
I have a question. When you guys go to these weddings or you're a bridesmaid, are you ever sad when you leave when no one approaches you?
Ooh, that's a great question. Ooh. That's a good question.
Wait, do guys approach girls or women now? Do they? Like, do men approach, especially our age? Like, where they at?
They're not. The men our age are children.
Exactly. Like, do they approach?
Right. No, don't
say
that.
Okay, sorry. Don't say that. He's not even right.
No, wait, he's not right. I used to be the type of girl. This is like probably from like starting at age 16. I used to be the type of girl that when I walk into a room and no one is like trying to talk to me, there's an issue. And I would have to leave and walk back out. Walk back in. Wow. I'm so serious. It's really bad. I mean, I don't know if it was pride, but it was just that thing. Like somebody had to talk to me. Like, I don't care. You had to talk to me. So when I go to weddings, I think there is a piece of me that is like, okay, maybe I'll meet him today.
You look good.
Yeah. Even if I'm working a wedding though, I'm just like, maybe I'll meet him today. Yeah. And when it doesn't happen, yeah, there is a piece of me that's blown.
Like, yeah,
that's
I agree.
Yeah,
because funny enough, our friend Lulu, she was saying a lot of the day, whenever wedding, it's easy to find love. Like, and I was like, okay, so I'm thinking, okay, Sophia's wedding.
Sorry, when you're in a wedding?
Yeah, like when you're like a bridesmaid.
Well, that's because people try to hook up the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, and a lot of times that's just not gonna work.
So I was like, okay, maybe Sophia's wedding coming up. Something will happen between now and then.
It's all people you know.
Not the groomsmen. No, sorry, not the groomsmen. But she's just saying, like in general, like love tends to find people when they're in their wedding. So I didn't really ask questions. Okay, cool, but not the groomsmen. No, but I'm just thinking, okay, maybe between now and April, something will happen. And then I've been to all these weddings. I think something will happen to all these weddings. No, I can tell you right now, I've been to 8 weddings. Nothing will happen. So just come as one and leave as one.
Wait, this is a film story right here. Like, this is a film. Like, I'm telling you, this is perfect.
It will sell,
we'll talk about this later.
It will sell.
Yeah.
It will really sell. No, I think the thing is, it could happen. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a matter of like not feeling like, oh my gosh, am I ugly? If you leave and nobody, because the thing is, I'm so crazy. But like I'm not crazy, you say. But when I went to my cousin's wedding yesterday, I was hoping nobody talked to me because I'm like, I don't know if you my cousin. Like I got a big family, and all y'all Igbo's just everywhere. I'm tired, So I have a friend who actually I realized he was my cousin later. He was like, yeah, I'm not marrying an Igbo woman. I was like, why? He's like, because every minute I find out that someone's my cousin. That's true. So anyway, that's just a funny thing. But yeah, it's just a matter of, go ahead.
Ever been to a wedding, like attended a wedding, and wish you had a plus one with you?
Of course.
It depends on the wedding. It depends on, I guess, who's there. Like if there was one time when I knew that certain couples were going to be there. I'm saying couples, so it won't seem like I'm single one person. But, and I was like, yeah, because I technically wasn't even invited. I just did the hair, you know what I mean? So I was like, if I walk in, first of all, I'm late. Everybody's seated, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, if I walk in by myself, it's already somehow, But that was only one time I felt that way. Other than, like, I don't know.
I don't like going places by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've come from a big family.
Places or weddings?
Both.
Okay.
I'm come from a big family. I don't like being by myself in general. Yeah. So when I'm by myself, I'm just like, oh God. So I'm always like with a sister or a friend, and sometimes you be by yourself, and I don't. Yeah. So I wish I had a plus one. Yeah, I do.
At Miracle's wedding, Kike and Ruth were both bridesmaids, and Akba was a vendor with her sister, so they're coordinating. So I happened to leave the ceremony with 3 married people. We drove from my car. So we're all bonding because I haven't seen them in a while since they got married. So they all got married within the last year. So we're all bonding, and they're sharing marriage advice. I'm just keeping quiet. So they said, okay, cocktail hours is now starting. So we all, came inside the church or the reception hall, and people are now claiming seats, finding seats. And so the 3 of them paused, like, okay, we need to find a table. So we found a table with all the other single people. But then they was like, wait, our husbands are here. We gotta find them seats too. So we went to the next table over, but realized that the tables cannot hold the 3 married couples,
plus you,
plus me, plus our friend Eric who's on the way. So we're all looking for a table that can hold everybody, because some tables had 2 seats taken already.
Yeah.
I said, listen, y'all sit together with your husbands. I'm gonna go over there, And I was like, dang, son, being single, I've never felt it until this moment. And then my friend Katrina was like, no, I'm gonna sit with you. They can sit with their husbands. I'm gonna sit with you. And her husband was the videographer, so that's why.
I'm like, oh, that was sweet.
So she sat with me, and that's seriously for Erica. But I texted her, and I was like, thank you so much for, choosing to sit with me at the wedding. She was like, girl, bye. I really wanted to bond with you at that time. So I was like, okay, cool. And I really appreciate it,
Shout out to Katrina.
Hey, Katrina.
Keep her serious the next time.
She's Nigerian by association, by marriage, But yeah, I really appreciate her sitting with me. But I never felt single until that moment, just being with married people.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really spend time with them that much because they now have husbands. They now have homes to run. So it's just being in the car with them was really good just to talk to them. But when it's everybody found your seat, it was
that's real.
You're back to being single along with it.
I have a lot of moments like that. And I have a lot of married friends. And I have a lot of moments like that. So I feel you.
And it's so funny because you would never think something like that would trigger that, that emotion. It's your married friends probably didn't even think nothing of it.
They're not doing anything wrong.
Exactly.
They're sitting with their husbands,
right.
Which is what I would do when I'm married.
Exactly. And you should.
Right, exactly.
It's just funny what things little things can trigger. Yeah.
But I had fun at the wedding, some other single people. I had a great time. It wasn't, but we couldn't all sit together.
That's so funny. That's a part of the film too, bro.
Yeah. Being the third wheel all the time too. It's annoying. Yeah. And it happens. It's fine. It happens.
Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me on this session. I really, really enjoy it and I appreciate it. And I know those who are listening are also blessed by this. Stay tuned for what's next. But everybody can share where to find you, social media handle if you want to share that.
Sure. So my Instagram is Miss Opezzy, MSOPEZZY. And I also have a blog, missopezzy.com.
Hey, y'all. Y'all can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Kike, Kike, Ayodeji, Ayodeji.
You can find me on Instagram, Ruth.Adoma, Adaoma. Facebook, Ruth Nathan. Twitter, I don't know.
What about
Adoma. Adoma.
That's my middle name.
That's not how you say it. It's Adoma.
Adoma.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Hey. Oh, this is a wedding, you know what I'm saying? So if you need your hair did, you know what I'm saying, for your wedding, you know what I'm saying? I do bridal hair, so you can follow me at Divine Hair Care. And yeah.
Some of you will be doing Fit Farm Monday through Friday. But then you will not get to wedding on Saturday to come and catch simple bouquet you cannot jump. We are now asking you, I'm Ben, you need to real long. Kedide, stand up and come and collect this flower because your case shall be different. Your own wedding shall be next. We all want to do Ashwebi. We are tired. Otisunwa. So please, Edide, Ewa catch bouquet. Eshe.